All right, I'd like to call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearing of May 26, 2022. Up first is the acceptance of the hearing minutes from the May 12th, 2022 hearing. If there are no comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept the hearing minutes of May 12th.
Make a motion to accept the hearing minutes of May 12th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on to the public hearing. On a petition by the President and Fellows of Harvard College for the granting of a private utility license for the installation of new utility infrastructure within Western Ave Public Way, Brighton, located generally west of Soldiers Field Road, new business 5/12/2022, is shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Private Utility License Plan, Western Avenue, Allston, one sheet dated May 19th, 2022.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning, members of the commission. I'm Peter Kohansky from Goulston and Storrs. I'm here on behalf of Harvard University. I'm joined today by Joe O'Farrell and Danny Rico from Harvard, and as well as Mark Younghans and Jeff Ketteritz from VHB, who are the civil engineers for the work. We're here on a petition for a private utility license for the installation of electric and telecommunications conduits and hot and chilled water lines that need to cross Western Avenue in Allston. This utility crossing, you'll remember, extends the microgrid that Harvard committed to build in its institutional master plan. It's one of the major features of Harvard's sustainability approach for its campus. The work extends utility services from the district energy facility to Harvard institutional buildings north of Western Avenue. And the commission may also remember that Harvard received your approval a couple of years back for the same utility license work crossing North Harvard Street. That work is now complete, and this is just another step in that important project. So I'll turn it over to Mark. He can walk you through the plan and answer any questions.
Thanks a lot, Peter. The proposed project is almost identical to what we did at North Harvard Street. We had a large-scale water line, we had a sewer line, we had existing utilities, and we took a similar approach where we're designing underneath the existing utilities as opposed to trying to weave through them. I think the utility we're most concerned about is the 54-inch MWRA water, which we have about a 6-foot 9-inch offset from, and then our elevations are dictated by the existing 24-inch sewer line where we have an 18-inch offset. We've been through a design review process with Boston Water and Sewer, which we've completed, and we also have a permit from the MWRA for this work. The MWRA focusing specifically on construction procedures and protection of utilities, which is something we engineered up front. We have been working with the BTD over the last 2 weeks on refining the construction management approach. They asked us to evaluate a number of alternatives, but we came to the approach that provides the best protection for the utilities, but also maintains the pedestrian, vehicular, and bike capability at the surface. This work is scheduled to begin this year. And we've notified all the agencies and utilities on Boston Water and Sewer's list, and generally had positive feedback from all of them, have addressed comments as they've come up. I should also note that we've worked closely with both National Grid and Eversource, who have existing facilities here. National Grid, who has a parallel project of doing some upgrades, so we're fully coordinated with them as well. Any questions on the plan?
Questions or comments from commission members? Questions or comments from PIC staff?
Not from PIC staff. I will remind the audience, if you wish to ask questions or add testimony, please use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. But I see none at this time.
All right, I will entertain a motion to approve public hearing number 1.
I make a motion to approve a petition by the President and Fellows of Harvard College for the granting of a private utility license for the installation of new utility infrastructure within Western Avenue, Brighton, as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, hearing none, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Public hearing item number 2, on a petition by NSTAR Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, for a grant of location to install an electric transformer vault and associated infrastructure within Liverpool Street Public Way, East Boston, located at address number 152, generally between Decatur Street and Meridian Street, Central Square. New business 5/12/2022 is shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Grant of Location Plan Transformer MH for PIC Liverpool Street, East Boston, one sheet dated January 2022.
Hi, good morning. I'm Katie Flaherty from Eversource Electric. What we would like to do is install one new manhole on Liverpool Street and then install conduit from an existing manhole to the private property. And this is to provide electric power to 152, 154 Liverpool Street. I do have the plan here that I'm trying to share with you. If you just bear with me for a minute. So choose the screen. Okay. I don't know, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the existing manhole. That's the manhole that we would like to install. The conduit would come along here to the building.
Any questions or comments from commission members? PIC staff or public?
I see none.
Then I will entertain a motion on public hearing item number 2.
I make a motion to approve a petition by NSTAR Electric Company for a grant of location to install an electric transformer vault and associated infrastructure within Liverpool Street in East Boston, as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the public hearing. On to new business. First order of new business is Railroad Street, Corey Street, West Roxbury, grant of location on a petition by National Grid. Is National Grid here?
I believe Steve Damiano and Sam Uefo are logged in. You guys are muted.
Yeah, I think Sam and Peter are trying to present.
Sam's, your microphone may not be working. Steve, do you mind just taking over the presentation until Sam can get up and running?
Yeah, I'll need a second. I actually didn't have the plans up on my screen right at the moment.
Sure, I can share those if that's helpful. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, thank you, Todd. Peter and Sam must be trying to call back in. I'll start off and describe the project. This is another regulator station proposed by National Grid to replace the existing regulator station on Central Street and Corey Street. After a review of alternatives and specifically some of the connection piping and requirements for siting the new proposed three-chambered vault prefab three chamber vault. It was determined the best location would be here as shown on Railroad Street, all within the existing sidewalk. If you'll go up, Todd, to the design plan, you'll see more of the pipe connections that are required to after installing this vault. These connections would be as shown in Railroad Street and connect with the existing gas main over on Corey Street. Would want to mention that we've gone through a couple of reviews with Boston Water and Sewer Commission and gotten some additional as-built information, which is shown here on this drawing. And we're working out final details on the connection at Corey Street and Center Street, which is to the north of this particular view. As is typical for these vaults, there are vent pipes, above ground vent pipes, and you could shift to the drawing below. Todd, thank you. And we've shown them basically on this final site plan with dimensions showing at least 5 feet clearance on the sidewalk from the proposed vent posts. We're also showing over to the right the location of the SCADA box, which is on, as we understand it, on city property. And with that, I'll put it out to questions from PIC.
Questions or comments from commission members?
Pardon me?
Nope, just wondering if commission members have questions or comments. All right, hearing none, PIC staff or public?
As Steve alluded to, that SCADA box is located on quote-unquote private property. Assessing records indicate that that's owned by the city, so National Grid will determine which city department has custody and work out the placement of that box with that department. Other than that, nothing.
All right, I believe our next PIC is in 3 weeks, right, Todd? June 16th. So will you guys be ready on June 16th for a public hearing?
Yes, we will. Thank you.
All right, see you then.
Okay, thanks very much.
New business item number 2, Blue Hill Avenue, Babson Street, Fremont Street, River Street, Cummins Highway, Dorchester, granted location on a petition by Extenet Systems.
Keenan Brent here on behalf of Extenet. Good morning. My name is Keenan Brent. I'm here this morning on behalf of Extenet Systems. I'm also joined by Han from NB&C Engineering, who is going to provide some technical support, and also Arthur Pino from Extenet as well. The reason for this petition is a fiber duct that's going to run through the public right-of-way. Starts on Cummins Highway, heads southwest, proceeds north on Blue Hill Avenue, then continues on Blue Hill Avenue to Babson Street, where it bears off right, and then it turns eventually on Fremont Street, heading south, and terminates on River Street. The length of the conduit run is 2,549 linear feet. Extenet will also be providing a shadow duct for the city's purpose, which will terminate adjacent to the Extenet manhole. Extenet understands that this is a particularly busy area, particularly at the intersections of Cummins Highway and Blue Hill Avenue, and we'll take all necessary measures to make sure that we're coordinating with the local merchants and, obviously dealing with parking spots, handicap spaces and whatnot. So that's essentially it. in terms of what we're doing. And if you have any questions, be happy to entertain them and answer them the best I can.
I'll just say that BTD is looking to join some of these builds with you, and I think that we're coordinating that with Arthur. But right, like you guys have been great with the ongoing coordination and helping us make some of these connections.
That's my understanding, and I assume that that'll get done. So.
Yeah. I think Arthur's on it, so I think we're all set.
Yep. Okay.
Questions or comments from commission members?
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. I think from our records, we do have 3 on-street accessible parking spaces. So if you could just coordinate with my office on the relocation of those spaces if construction in the area requires it.
Yep, and I noted that in your response, and we'll make sure, we've already discussed making sure we can address those.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Questions or comments from PI staff or public?
No, none.
All right, will you guys be ready for a public hearing on June 16th?
Absolutely, yep,
We'll see you on June 16th.
very good.
New business item number 3, Blue Hill Avenue, Woodhaven Street, Hiawatha Road, Dorchester, grant of location on a petition by Extenet Systems.
Yeah, it's me again, Keenan Bryn here on behalf of Extenet, joined by Han and Arthur. This request is another fiber duct on behalf of Extenet. This one's a little bit short of a run. It's 1,403 linear feet. It starts, as you can see, on Woodhaven Street, and then again heads up north on Blue Hill Avenue. That's the majority of the run is on Blue Hill Avenue. Eventually gets up to Hiawatha, and that's where it terminates. Again, we will, as in all cases, or most cases, Extenet will be providing a shadow duct adjacent to this run, which will terminate next to the Extenet manhole at the end. Again, this obviously we understand that this is a busy stretch of road, and we're trying to take all necessary measures to coordinate with local business owners and whatnot. And certainly we'll try to stay in touch with Boston Transportation and any ADA issues that may come in. So that's essentially what this run entails. Any questions?
Questions or comments from commission members?
Again, we appreciate your coordination with our office with that one accessible parking space, and look forward to coordinating further.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's some here.
Questions or comments from PIC staff or public?
All set.
Will you guys be ready on June 16th?
We will.
All right, we'll see you for
See
a
you then,
public
yep.
hearing on June 16th.
Very good.
New business item number 4, Leston Street, Lucerne Street, Dorchester, grant of location on a petition by Extenet Systems.
Yes, Keaton Brennigan here with Han and Arthur. This is a relatively short run. It involves, a lot of it involves Morton Street. It begins on Lucerne and then crosses Morton Street and then terminates on Leston. The total fiber run, including Morton Street, is about 380 feet. We will be providing a shadow duct to the city, which will terminate at Extenet's manhole or adjacent to it. I know Morton Street, a good chunk of this is on State Highway, but we haven't been issued a permit for this yet, but it's coming. I think it'll be out shortly. So the majority, I think, is on Morton Street, but then there's, Lucerne and Leston make up the difference. Other than that, the other thing I wanted to mention, I think the last time we had a state road, I think you wanted to see the state highway boundary. And Todd, for those plans that, when we revise the plans, I'll make sure I include that state highway boundary.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep. So.
Questions or comments by commission members? Questions or comments by PIC staff or public?
No, all set.
All right, will you guys be ready on June 16th?
Or well,
All right. New business item number 5, Talbot Avenue, Bernard Street, New England Ave, Dorchester, grant of location on a set of petitions by Extenet Systems.
yep, Keenan Brennigan with Han and Arthur here. This final petition, it pretty much involves Talbot Ave. This runs about 2,600 linear feet. Starts on Talbot, kind of heads southwest for a good chunk. And then there's 2 spurs that kind of peel off. One is, the first one as you're heading south is on Bernard Street. Right there, thank you. And then it still continues again on Talbot Ave, and it continues down south to New England Avenue. Again, as is always the case, we will be providing a shadow duct for the city, which will terminate at the manhole or adjacent to the manhole. Again, a fairly busy stretch of road here as well, and we're trying to take all necessary precautions and measures to make sure that we're addressing any local concerns. That's pretty much it, similar to the other ones. If you have any questions, be happy to take those.
This is another run that I think BTD is pretty excited about, that we've been talking to Arthur about, so I'm excited for this as well. Are there questions or comments from commission members? PIC staff or public?
Now, this was originally presented as 2 separate plan sets, but Extenet's going to combine them for us to use our bookkeeping, so we appreciate that.
Yep.
On June 16th will be enough time?
Yep. I think we're planning on having the revised plans by June 9th.
Perfect. All right, well, we'll see you on
Okay.
June 16th.
See you then.
All right, that concludes the PIC hearing. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. All right,